All right, we are taking a look at Bit Golf by badcop. I'll drop the link in that chat once more. But yeah, so is this a solo jam project?
Yeah, this is compo.
Okay, nice. All right. Well, I'll start playing and we'll see how things go. I love the backstory. This concept here actually of like treating bytes as a precious resource, like that seems cool. That seems like a legit sci-fi thing that it's a good as explanation as any. All right,
The
level one.
backstory is the attempt to farm humor points without actually putting any humor in the game.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So yeah, all right. New color. Hello, human. Your new assigned role is to compress text. Repeat after me. My job is to compress. My job is to compress. Yes. Okay. So I can highlight. How do you actually do that? Use your mouse to
So
paint.
there's some flashing text that
Okay.
wants you to, yeah.
Okay. So I've highlighted the word compress, and that's the same. And then, okay, then I define a new color for my job is to. So that's helped with the compression. And
Nice.
then.
You've already met your quota. It's a great day.
Okay. I'm just looking if there's any other repeated words here. I don't. I don't think so, unless there's like substrings.
There are, but there's no need to go for 3 stars, especially on this level. This level actually requires some stupid things to get 3 stars, so we can settle for 2.
Oh no. Is oh my gosh. I'm looking for like 2-letter pairings or something that would further reduce the text, but it's difficult to look closely, like trying to break up words into like 2 or 3-letter pairings to see.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I feel like I could be staring at this for a while. Oh, that's a good suggestion. The TO. Well, or do you mean like compress the two here and then my job is a separate color? That would be interesting. Okay.
I think they were suggesting like make the first color like 2 compress, and then the second one is my job is.
Oh, I see. Yes, that actually would be better. Okay. I see. But that's so we are allowed to do that even though the tutorial is telling us not to.
Yeah, you can ignore this tutorial.
Yeah.
This tutorial's kind of goofy.
Now, does that get us? No, it's still not the world record is 100 bytes. So someone has done some shenanigans. Okay, we're not going to get caught up on level 1 here. So yeah, can you talk a little bit about the inspiration behind this game? Was it the XKCD Code Golf that I?
No, so it started off. I was like, what things could be limited, and then while I was thinking about that, I opened my computer and I saw that all my hard drives were basically full. I was like,
Yeah,
hard drive space is pretty limited. Maybe there's something we could do with that. And sorry, I need to clear my throat.
No worries.
Yeah, I just kind of brainstormed from there. I had some other ideas. One of them I thought was really clever, but then I've seen it a million times already, which is like having there's a type of company called a limited
Liability corporation.
Yeah, but in UK and Canada, it's just like you could have a company called Space Limited.
Oh yeah. Okay, I know what you mean.
Yeah, and I thought about making a game just called Space Limited about like a company that I don't know, but I didn't. Yeah, I didn't end up going that route.
Space Ltd.
This was something I had in my mind for a while. Not even as a game idea, just as like a, I don't know. Like I don't know where this idea came from. It's just been in my head for a while, and then I applied it to the game jam.
No, that's fine. I mean, I think that there is a certain fascination, like when you first hear about this method of text compression, like
Mhm.
you don't realize, like, it's almost a little existentially terrifying to hear about how file compression works at all. Like, to realize that text can be reduced by analyzing patterns and doing these kind of
Can
things.
be
It just,
reduced a lot.
yeah.
um, this particular like method of compression isn't great for text,
Hmm.
but it's the one that I thought was like the most gamifiable. Um, we did a bunch of research at the beginning of the jam for like different compression methods and algorithms.
Hmm.
Um, we went deep down the Huffman coding rabbit hole, but I could barely wrap my head around it to begin with, and then trying to think about like how I would gamify that,
Hmm.
I was very lost. Um, so we went for this, which is like it's not I don't know, it's not super realistic, especially the scoring is a little bit simplified, a lot of it simplified. But I don't know, I think it works out to be like a neat puzzle thing.
Oops.
And we keep finding I thought that a bunch of the levels were already like solved, like we had the
Hmm.
best solution. We keep finding new solutions that I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. That's why it's cool to have the like high score thing.
Hmm. Yeah, that it tells you just how terrible of a job you did.
Yeah, because when I was making this, somebody was like, "This is a lot like a Zachtronics style game," and uh, they said you should add like the like histograms at the end of the level. And I wanted to do that, but histograms are like a lot of work compared to just putting a number on the screen. So we simplified.
Yeah. So there's no penalty, like once you go above the like 3 to 4 colors, once you're even consigned to do a full 5 to 8, like if you have 5 colors, you may as well go all the way up to 8 because there's no further penalty for including more.
Right. You also are paying the cost of all the text like next to the colors.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
that's why if you just like if you highlight the word say desire right now,
Hmm.
um that would be a net loss because you're just like it's the word desire plus the cost to put the like purple dot there.
Hmm. I see. So now that I've gone up to 5 colors, I may as well go all the way up to 8 if I can find any other 2-letter pairings that are. Uh,
Right. Let me see. I don't remember the solution to this one.
Well,
You know
the nice thing is that I don't have to work too hard because I can just highlight individual letter pairings and then see if it matches something else that I noticed.
mm-hmm.
Actually, here we go. It's not just ST, it's STE because Instead and Systems both have STE in them.
Interesting. I don't even have that one in my my solution.
Okay, so it didn't get me anything. Um, oh, Dr. Tronic is suggesting TI. This would be a really interesting game to play with the assistance of chat because TH actually gets us something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and one more new color. So is TI? Yeah, there we go. Now that's pretty good, I think.
I think that one broke even. I
Oh,
think
I
you were at
see.
150 before and it's still
Yeah, I
150.
see. Right, because the adding the dot and then even if it's just a 2-letter pairing.
Yeah,
So the TH is actually not improving our score either. Neither is the
yeah.
TO. Because I can see that as I'm removing things, the NO, okay, the NO was worth it. So at least one of those was worth it. But I need to find a better. The STE was definitely worth it. But a lot of these like 2-letter pairings are not necessarily improvement. Ooh, S space A. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about the possibility of using a space.
Oh, S-Pace
Wow.
A is very good. You just got 3 stars.
Well,
That's
no, no, no.
huge.
I didn't. Eddie Nardo did.
The team.
Collectively. Okay, we're gonna submit that. 141. And the world record is still even better than that. That's wild. Interesting. Yeah, I mean this is neat. I love that this is really chill. Like there's no pressure. You have this flexibility. Like I didn't even realize how generous the system was in terms of just allowing you to it wants me to right click because that was too large. What does this mean actually?
Yeah, so look at the output when you it's a like a toggle thing. So right now it says like pink dot 2.
Yeah.
Try doing just like 1 equal sign.
Yeah, okay. New color, single equal sign, and then right click. Ah, okay, I see. So you're just saying like there's 32 of these in a row.
Yep. This is a compression technique known as run length encoding.
Okay. Again, that the name is familiar, but my God, has it ever been a long time since I've like I never even had to implement any of the stuff. This is like watching Computer File or something and just learning about these for the fun of it. Because
Yeah, we
yes,
watched some of those like style videos while we were brainstorming on stream.
but yeah, I love the fact that you can like okay, on the one hand I could say, oh, it's not great that you can just sort of highlight things at random, but it really does award the creative thinking, like thinking to include the space as well is really neat. Okay, we got 3 REs there, so that's probably one that's worth it. But you know, we'll keep building from there.
Yeah, I will say trying to go for 3 stars on every level is quite hard. 2 is commendable for a lot of them. I don't hear you anymore. Are you still talking?
Sorry, my mic was muted. I don't. I must have bumped it when I went to clear my throat, or forgotten to unmute it. I don't know what I did there. Sorry. So yeah, I was just saying that in got us a lot there, and I was just reading out the chat there. I used RLE encode extra sprites into a Pico 8 project one time.
Eddie Nardo's chat message.
Do the humans that do better at the job get to reproduce just like in evolution algorithms? Oh my God. Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, and the music's also quite chill. So, okay, I see. We're at 26 compression so far and 30% compression. My brain just sort of like made sense of the numbers that we're seeing at the bottom of the screen here because I know it's all quite simple, and if I'd taken a moment to even look at it as I have done now, yeah, I do understand. But so is there?
Yeah, there are a lot of words on the screen.
So there's no point. Okay, so in is good. I'm keeping in, and then adding a 4th color is free. So we just need to find something else that gets us another 4% compression. Is EA anything? No, doesn't look like it. Anyway, I'll keep sort of like messing with that. Have looked into information theory. It's really fascinating to learn the upper bounds of how much you can compress and how you can mathematically prove the limits on the compress, which is, yeah. I mean, empty, I was kind of mentioning a little earlier just how it's almost existentially terrifying just how much you can compress things down and how much of a pattern actually does exist in human speech or like written text. But yeah, and who knows, like we're probably like through the use of large language models, it's probably going to be possible to find patterns that, again, through this sort of black box that we don't even understand, necessarily how it's doing it, but it's just going to like magically compress. I thought that wouldn't work because you have to apply any algorithm you apply to compress something has to be possible to decompress as well. So,
well, that's when you get into lossy compression.
No, that's
I thought
true.
about adding an aspect of that to this game, but it doesn't ever really make sense to use lossy compression for text.
Oh my goodness, have you heard of okay, let me see if I can pull this up. Tom Scott, Romeo and Juliet, Shakespeare.text.jpg.
No.
An experiment in text compression. Basically, Tom Scott had a copy of Romeo and Juliet printed out and then OCR'd and then printed out and then OCR'd, and you can just see from this picture, you can see how it just like starts to break down. Like it's kind of readable for the first one and then just becomes like complete gibberish by the second one, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. But yeah, Tom Scott is hilarious. Yeah, you can see the titles of the book. Anyway, thankfully OCR has gotten much better since then, so... Alright, I'll get back to the actual game here. So, yeah, can you talk a little bit about the actual development process?
Oh god, it was terrible. So I started working on this, and we immediately went down the wrong rabbit hole. I was like, oh, I have some code from a previous jam where I made like a little like fake desktop environment, and you could like move windows around and stuff. I thought I was gonna use that. I spent a bunch of time porting it from Godot 3 to Godot 4. Yeah, it's from PR Protector.
I don't know if I played that one. I remember playing To Catch a Wizard, but I can't remember PR Protector.
This one was from a smaller jam. It wasn't from LD.
Yeah, because I played Plant as well. I remember that one. That might have been the first one that you submitted to the stream?
Yeah, Plant was a LD game. But I spent a bunch of time porting this code, and then I didn't even end up using it. I was like, we don't really need movable windows. I could just put everything on the screen. And then it was very much like I would put in a bunch of effort, and then I would immediately lose motivation. I'd be like, this game, there's no way this game is going to be fun. It's just not going to be fun. It's just going to be work. And so my strategy for this jam was basically I took a bunch of short naps, and just like each time I woke up, I was like, okay, I can do this. And then I get demotivated. I was like, all right, another nap. By the last day, I was like, okay, actually, I can kind of see the light. I'm finally feeling like I can work on this. But it just, making a game like this, you run into a lot of those like types of coding problems that you thought didn't exist. The stuff that you see on like Leak Code, and you're like, when would you ever need this? Like, you never would need to do this. This game has all of those problems inside of it.
Oh, that's funny. By the way, in terms of this level tutorializing the RLE, I think this should come before the other one. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you share an example of that? Sure. Let me pull up the code.
I was gonna flip out if the world record on this was somehow better than 39. Said like,
yeah, it was, but I deleted it because I think they cheated. So I had that too.
It would be funny if just as a troll you had like after the word approximately you had 2 spaces, and then after the last digit you or like after the ... you also had 2 spaces or something, so you could like compress the invisible spaces or something for more. But again, that's such a troll thing. Don't actually do that. Okay, wow.
This was just an example of one of those functions that like algorithmically hurts my brain.
Okay, if type of text is type array, for item in text, if text is type dictionary, pushback item else result. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there's a recursive call to parse in here. It's
Oh
great.
no.
Yeah, we do some trees. We do some trees.
My god, I think that this would make my brain melt just trying to come up with this.
This is basically the logic that takes your rules on the left and like colors the string. That turned out to be trickier than I expected. There were a couple other weird problems, but I don't remember off the top of my head. Oh, I think you're muted again.
Gosh darn it. I literally tapped the button to unmute myself, and I just did the... So I went through and clicked the obvious ones here on how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood. A woodchuck could chuck as much wood as a woodchuck could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
True.
That's like one of the only tongue twisters I can do, so I like showing it off.
Yeah, so for this one, you just gotta get the spaces in there.
Oops. Oh yeah, you know what? So hang on. Include a woodchuck would compress. Yeah. And then chuck. I guess there's So theoretically I can always do space chuck and space wood. That's what you meant? Or
it's something like that. I'm not sure. I don't think you want the green rule.
Space could. Okay, well we got 25%, but the space wood. So, sorry, I ND space could.
I think the green rule is not helping as much as it looks like it is.
Oh, because wood is already part of something. I see. Because okay. Right. So if I just made chuck now, no, that's 29%. But oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh, get rid of the other chuck. Give it 2 chucks.
Yeah. I'm just like let me just.
Oh, you just had 3 stars when you deleted one, but then you deleted them all.
Okay. Well, I mean, we'll get back to it. We'll get back to it. So space would. Space could. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Space could.
You can also update them by just like reselecting while you are on the color.
There we go. We're back. And then
nice.
So theoretically chuck occurs more often than could. So I think chuck with a tailing space is more efficient, and then could by itself. No, that's worse. Oh, right, because this is interfering with the wood, and I can't do a tailing space on that one. Okay, never mind. Stop getting fancy with it. So just chuck by itself. There we go. We already had it, and space could. There we go. All right. We got it. 3 stars. Stop. And of course, someone's managed to get one more bite out of this. How even?
I think it's just you do could space could space. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I was wondering, is it a woodchuck? Is that? Yeah, because woodchuck always occurs. No, but like you have to do wood and yeah. Okay, no, you can't do woodchuck.
That makes the other ones less effective.
Yeah. and then space wood. Okay, we got 36% compression, so that's...
Yeah, that's the best one.
That's the best possible one. Nice. All right. So yeah, you described the development process as being like some real nightmare algorithms, but how about the most difficult problem you encountered during the jam, and what was your solution?
Interestingly, it was actually the level design. Because this is such a weird foreign space for me. Like I've never really played a game like this, and so trying to figure out what made a fun level was hard, and I think a lot of them are a miss. But I like some of them, and I'm starting to wonder like what it would look like to make a procedural generator for this. I think the way you would do it is you would want like different types of levels, because some of them are like this one where there's like some patterns going on. And I actually really like this level. I think the solution is elegant, and it like makes sense. Some of the later levels are just like, it's just like brute forcing word search in a big wall of text, and I don't think those are super fun. But yeah, I just kind of, my approach to level design for this was make a bunch of random levels and then see what... I honestly just kept everything in. I didn't even delete the ones I didn't like. I was like, better to have more levels than... I don't know.
Yeah, okay, I just realized that selecting a single F is actually the most optimal here. So let's see, is that... No, you can still do one better. Oh, is it? No, I think I know why. Because you can just literally select A, and then set that, and then set SDF, and then F, and then RLE. No, that's worse.
Yeah, so
okay.
Do you want a hint on this one?
No, that's okay. I'm not going to go crazy on this.
Okay, can I just share? I think the solution to this one's cool.
Sure.
So the order of the rules on the left matters.
Oh, okay. So then,
yeah,
that actually does give a good hint then without. So yeah, we'll start with ASDF because that.
Yeah, I think you get it. Yeah.
Now we can do the single letter A compression, and then we can do the single letter F compression. Okay, then we get 67%, which is the most optimal. Okay, thank you for telling me that, because actually I wouldn't have necessarily known that otherwise.
So levels like that I think are cool. And I wish I'd made more like that, where they have an elegant, like, good solution rather than just...
This is actually a level that I would have put much earlier in the game.
True.
with a strict compression quota, such that if you don't learn the trick about processing them in order, then you can't clear the level. So
yeah, I think you're right.
Something that and the you would probably need to hint at it in the text that you're compressing, but something that it's once you realize that, it sort of recontextualizes other levels, and you can sort of think about like, oh, would this reduce the some of these other levels? Like I would almost like to see a level select so I can go back and try and do better at some of the earlier levels.
Oh, there is a level select, yeah.
Oh, how do you access the level select?
Hit escape.
Oh, okay. So quitting may lose some progress, and then you can press quit, and then you can. Oh, right. Of course, there's a level select. I remember seeing this now that I. Okay, wow. So we're only halfway through.
We've been doing pretty good.
It's not terrible. I mean, we like with chat's help, right? And this is not me doing this. But I am definitely curious now that I know about some of these.
This one is a big leap to just figure out, I think.
Oh, okay. So that's more than the maximum length. So that's not necessarily helpful. So 2 compress. Because that's the maximum length of the string. New color, my job is space, so include that. And then...
I don't know if anyone has figured this out without me just telling them.
Telling them? Huh.
There's a character that you can select that you don't see.
So is it periods? No, it's not that. So can you select new line characters?
Yes.
Oh my god, but how?
It's very goofy. You have to kind of select like part of the previous line.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Wait. I seem to be selecting
So
two new
you have
lines.
you have 2 of them somehow. So if you go from like my job is backwards up to the next line. Oh wait, you have it right now. You have my job is T with a new line somehow.
Yeah.
Start from like the is and go backwards.
Job is.
Yeah, like that.
Okay, interesting. And that's actually more efficient?
If you get the whole thing, like my job is and then
okay,
new
I see.
line. Yeah.
My job is like that. It's
you might have to go. Yeah, there it is.
So you have to include the space. No,
Yeah.
you wait. Yes, you do. You do. You need to include the space, and then you need to grab that. Yikes! Oh my god.
There it is.
That's a little mean.
Yeah.
And it's still possible to do it in 1 fewer bytes.
I don't know where the last byte is actually.
Okay.
I know I've done it. Oh, space is to compress? Oh no, wait. You can't do is to compress.
No, you can't because you're over your character limit here.
Oh, but you can do space to compress. Yeah, that would do it.
Oh, space to compress works?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, let's see. Space to compress. Oh no, you're right. Yeah. There is space at the end there. So I know that there's the character limit. I just thought that was going over the character limit. There we go.
This was something I debated taking out, but I thought it was just like, for the fans.
Captain Crunch, you are really good at this. Okay, so we're going to... We'll continue on to new levels here. And yeah, if anyone has any questions from chat, now's the time to ask. Oh, right, and of course, do you have any plans for this game going forward?
I'm very curious to see if we can make this work for score chasers. I think we would have to do the procedural levels, but I think it would be really interesting to see this in score chasers. I don't know. Beyond that, I don't know. I'd like to add more levels. Maybe make the tutorial better.
I think that making the tutorial better really just comes down to the ordering of some of the levels.
Yeah, for sure. That has been a big complaint, in that like the difficulty curve is like all over the place.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Someone mentioned space result is better compression. Again, Captain Crunch mentioned that. Yeah, I mean, gosh, and I'm not doing well on this level. Like, I'm only up to 15% compression.
This is another one of those ones where it's like, once you see it.
Yeah,
About the characters that aren't there.
Oh no. Oh no. if I actually had to make one suggestion, both for the difficulty of getting that to like select properly in the first level, I would
Yeah.
ignore white space as a matter of the way the scoring works in this game, because I don't think anyone would notice that. Like unless
I've been actually pretty surprised with how well, because I thought that the tutorial was kind of bad and that people were gonna really struggle to just even understand the concept, but it seems like people are getting it.
Okay, I wanted to see if a single space character with the RLE is any better, but it's not. Oh, because there's a lot of other single spaces that it makes it worse.
Yeah.
And that's still worse than just doing all 4 spaces. Yeah.
It's
honestly,
funny. Oh, sorry.
Oh, so you say your thing first.
I was gonna say it's funny that because for the RLE, like technically you could just leave the single spaces uncompressed, and it would. That's how it should work. But we found that when we did that, then you could just turn RLE on for every rule, and it was never bad. So we had to do a little bit of game design magic to nerf the RLE.
You know, one other thing that would be nice is if you could click and drag to reorder the rules.
You can.
Wait, what? Oh,
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, but I actually just made that worse. Okay, that's really cool. I love that. Okay, in that case, you just need a tiny bit of UI with a little drag handle, because that's really neat. And I will also say that you don't have to ditch the idea of being able to select spaces, but I'm wondering if you could have even a subtle, like semi-transparent little, like the way you render them over here.
Yeah,
right?
we could have a character for that for sure, but they're a little more obvious.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that, like, again, I think that you can achieve that aha moment in a level like this, like, because the spaces are such a significant factor. So it's, I think some of this comes down to the framing of how you, like if you said, okay, so first of all, we're going to submit this, and wow, you can even get better. That's a little terrifying. So next task, back out. So if you had the levels batched in such a way that the like trick that you learn when you start the first batch of levels is that you can select spaces, then like you should already have, there should already be a level where, as we have done, not this one, but there are already levels where to get the 3-star rating we've needed to select a space. I think this is the first level where it's actually necessary to select spaces to actually beat the level. Yeah. So I'm just wondering if there was, what's the easiest way to tutorialize the idea that you can select spaces, because it's already been a component of the game. It's already been something that we've been doing. I
mean, moving this level earlier might just be the solution.
But I don't know if it's like, because I think that it is actually more intuitive to realize that you can select like space and then a word than it is to realize that you can select all the white space at the front of these words here.
I think I agree with you for like new lines, but I don't agree for the spaces.
Okay.
I think because the inputs to the game are so simple, like all you can do is select text, right?
Yeah.
I think having that sort of thing where you have to like kind of be like, well, what am I missing? And yeah, I think that's one of the good, like MT saying, the eureka moments of the game. And I think in a puzzle game you want some of those.
Absolutely.
Where it's like you're just hard stuck, and then you come back to it later and you're like, oh, spaces.
Yeah.
But I mean, I get what you don't want it to be like so frustrating that they close the game and never come back. So there is a balance there. And I think the new lines is one of those things where it is like so stupid that like I think those should only I'm okay with the new line mechanic existing. I just think it should never be required for 3 stars. It should only be for like being a nerd on the high score table.
Yeah, I mean I think that assessment makes sense. Like as long as you don't make it something that like it can be one of those like what yeah, because when you realize that like every character is in play, it is a really cool feeling of discovery. So I agree. Like it is such a fine balance. You know, like what we are getting into here is the feeling of like, on the one hand, you don't want to make it too easy. On the other hand, you don't want to make it too hard. Like, how do you strike the balance where you correctly tutorialize something so that people realize, like, like you don't hit like this brick wall of, like what MT is saying here. A strategy for mitigating that is letting you skip levels and come back. Make sure there's variety in solutions so you never, Eureka, you don't get stonewalled. Yeah.
I mean, the other commonly used strategy for stuff like this is like you put a hint button in the game, right? Like
in the way that
levels.
You've given me the hints that have been vital for actually making progress here.
Yeah.
Even this level with just the zeros and ones is interesting because you need to think of
this level is hard. I don't think we've found the optimal solution yet. We keep getting smaller and smaller.
Oh my god, don't say that.
I think we're at 73 right now as the record.
Jeez. 73 bytes, right?
Yeah.
I'm worried, like genuinely worried, that the order is going to make a difference.
It makes
here.
A huge difference.
Yeah. Oh no.
So I built some tools because people were submitting like non-legit scores to the leaderboards. I have some monitoring set up where it'll tell me if a level has, if the high score is only submitted by one person, it gets marked as suspicious. And this level is marked as suspicious right now. Because only one person has found the 73. But I realized...
But you've checked? Have you...
Yeah, so I realized last night, because I've always maintained that like making true high scores for games like this is impossible. Or not games like this, but games in general. But I forgot that, like all I need to do is send your solution along with the score, and then I can validate it. I didn't even think of that during the jam. So I did that last night.
Awesome. Oh my goodness.
So this one is verified possible at 73.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering, like again, what I was saying is that I'm worried that it's like you have to check all your 101s first.
Yeah, it is kind of like that.
Then find your 01s. I'm at 44. That's actually, I'm pretty happy with that actually.
Let me see if I can find it.
So 44% compressed 83. Like obviously it's not
this one they used 5 colors for the best solution.
There we go, Dr. Tronic. You know, okay, another like tiny bit of UI. Like if you, I know it's pretty trivial to just like go and like re-add a rule that you deleted, but if you had the option to delete a rule and then re-add it, that would be nice.
An undo
so you
button.
Could do sort of experiment. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Undo
I'm
button is one of those
curious.
things that's always like, it would be nice to have, but doing it is just, it's not like it's a hard concept, but it's
Mm-hmm.
always such a like finicky thing,
Mm-hmm.
because you need it to apply to literally everything. Otherwise, it feels really strange if you can only undo certain things.
Okay, I'm gonna submit this, and then we're going to mess around. But that is, huh? I think it. So this would be part and parcel with the high score system. If you hit submit, and it goes to the server, and it is comparing like your submitted score, it could also check how many people have found that unique combination. So it could inform you as the player, like X many other people have found this solution.
Like that score or that specific solution?
The solution itself, right? Because that's what you were actually sending that data.
I feel like that gets weird because then you have to compare without, well, I guess the order of the rules matters, but sometimes it doesn't, and then it gets weird.
So we can simplify this, right? We can say that the first thing you do is you check only the scores that have a matching number, right?
Yeah.
So I do understand how like that gets kind of computationally intensive, but
Well,
I
it's
don't
not even
know.
like a hash. I do have like this is an example of somebody's solution that I uploaded to the high scores. It's just like a base 64 string of all your words on the left. So it's not hard to compare. It's just it might not be that meaningful given that like if you have 8 colors and the order doesn't matter much, then like the chance of you having the same solution as somebody exactly is like nothing.
That's true. I mean, you can very easily generate unique solutions, but I guess I was thinking about it from the perspective of for the first person that realizes, like obviously they know if they got the world record, but if you get even like close to the world record or something, maybe that should be it. Maybe it should be that like it only kicks in to tell you that you got like X many people have this same score if it's actually
Yeah,
like a meaningfully good score. Like you have like theoretically you can't even click submit until you get at least like 1 star, right?
right. Yeah, that's sort of the thing we were talking about with like the Zachtronic style histogram of like
Hmm.
you see the distribution of the different scores people have gotten and where you fall on that. I'd like to do that, but I just didn't have time.
Yeah, so I think it would be interesting because I think people like that sense of like, wow, no one's come up with this before. It makes me so clever. But yeah. No, that's I'm definitely like coming to the end of coherence here, so I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be able to keep playing. But like, oh, that's pretty good. Okay, now the CC at the end is BC instead of. Oh, I can't get these two. There we go.
Yeah, it's a little
Switch.
bit. I screwed up the drag and drop a little bit, and then if you like move your mouse off the top of the screen, it bugs out.
Oh.
I need to tweak that a bit.
Yeah, I really like the compression view that you get at the bottom here. And I
Yeah, me too.
think the other thing that would be nice is if it told you the number of occurrences that a given rule is tripping.
Yeah, or like maybe you could hover over a rule and see how much it's helping or hurting you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be nice.
Yeah, because I think if I made even one of these rules slightly better or chose a more efficient rule, then that would get me the 3 stars. But still, I'm pretty happy with what I've come up with here. I think instead of BC, I don't know, BC is getting a lot of hits, but maybe instead of CC, if I did BAC, like is BACA more valuable? Doesn't really look like it. I don't know, this is a tricky one. Just the letter B by itself? No, I mean, BA. Okay, now I'm forgetting what I did that gave me the 2-star score.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
what undo would
close
be
enough.
good.
I'm gonna just submit that. I mean, hey, like my score is 65 and the world record is 62, so I feel like that's not that bad. Anyway, I am curious. I just want to click like what is the? Well, I can't click the last level. I can only see them in a linear order.
Oh
All right.
yeah. I probably should have made like a unlock all button somewhere.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I was just curious to see like how much more wild does it get. But yeah,
It
I think
doesn't.
just
I think everyone's least favorite level. I can link you a screenshot.
sure.
I think it's got to be this one. This is my least favorite.
Okay, before I choke to death on my water glass. How did you send it?
It's in the chat.
Which chat? Stream chat? Oh no, the Twitch chat. There we go. Yeah. Ooh, it's lorem ipsum.
Yeah, it doesn't compress very nicely.
Oh my gosh. It's interesting though. Like I understand why it's people's least favorite is because you're doing a lot of like pixel hunting practically, just like looking for pairings.
Yup.
I think if you made it a slightly shorter string that didn't require quite so many, I don't know, like the fewer 2-character pairings you use, I think that's what would make people enjoy this a little bit more, because having to look this closely for just like 2-character pairings at a time, like there's a lot of 2-character pairings you could be comparing, right? Oh, actually, that's a fantastic suggestion from Empty there of being able to send people strings that they can then try to solve in this. Because, like, theoretically, what is a level? It's just
text.
Yeah, it's text and then some compression quota. Which, again, the compression quota is also text, right? So
I could generate the quotas if I do the horrible coding problem of writing a solver for this game, because it is solvable, but
yes.
that's basically, yeah, that's like elite code hard.
You know, don't worry about that. Let people define their own quota and just make it easy to share levels. You know, like if a level is like proven to be impossible, like let that be up to the people who submit the levels. You know, and
Maybe
people
you can't submit the level unless you clear that quota yourself.
Oh, easy, yeah, because you can check that. You can very easily submit that and self-check it.
Yep.
Because if you loaded the level data, like if the level data itself contained the solution, then you could try to load it into the game and it could run that solution and say, error, like this solution does not actually yield this compression. It's probably a corrupted file or the user is trying to troll you. But that way it could have like a built-in hint system because you would have the solution in the level data. But there's a separate conversation, MT suggesting you can brute force solutions pretty easily.
Yeah, I don't know how to think about how fast or slow that would be, because you have to consider that you have up to 8 rules that are up to they're 1 to 12 characters each, and they can be permuted in any order. So that's like 8 factorial right there.
Yeah.
Which is 40,000 times the number gets pretty big pretty quick.
Yeah.
If you can prune stuff quickly, yeah. You probably can, but that's what I'm saying. Like, this is like a dynamic programming problem.
Which is neat, right? But I think you can get there by just forcing a user, like before they're even allowed to export a level, you just make it so that they have to clear the quota themselves, and then you encode that solution in the, and it's a base 64 encode, right? So that somebody just looking at it wouldn't be able to tell what the solution was. And you have a built-in way of making sure that at least it's not that it's at least honest, right? Because this could be like it could be a fun thing for people to send each other. I mean, it really depends on the actual complexity of the UI involved in creating something like that. But that could be your solution for getting this to work in the score gem. What's that actually called?
Score chasers?
Score chasers, right. Because you could create a like score chaser set of levels that people have to clear. And those are maybe there's a time limit that they have to go through like that batch of levels or something. Or it sums, because like theoretically you can export one level at a time. You could also export multiple levels all in one file and then use that to generate like a page, and then it'll like look at how many stars you get at the end of it and what your total compression byte usage was. I don't know. It's you start running some extra complexity there, but could be possible. I don't know.
I don't know if I would want to send this solution, because then, I mean, I guess it's fine, but I'd rather the solution just go, because I can just port the logic of the game to my backend and then do everything there. Although it'll be annoying because my backend is a very different language than Godot scripts. I wrote the high score system in Bash.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I love this suggestion from Henry that you can send the solution and the game can decompress it to play.
Wait, the game can decompress?
That makes sense, right? Fundamentally, you send the solution with the compression, and
the
game can...
the output text and the palette, and then... Oh my god, that's actually... I do kind of like that. That is funny.
I mean, that is like purely from a code golf point of view. Like that, if you think about, we're talking about the difference of like a like 12 kilobyte text file or a 13 kilobyte text file, maybe, right? Like these are already like minuscule, tiny files that we're talking about sending here. So I don't like, as it's true, and congratulations, you have just like put a hole in one for that particular code golf suggestion. But overall, I think that you could just get away with sending it in plain text if you know, it could be that easy.
Yeah, there's a reason I didn't make any of these have a scroll bar. I'm not a cruel person.
No, yeah. So you do ultimately have a character limit on the amount of text that you have to compress at the top in the first place.
I mean, we don't have to for user created levels. We can open that box.
I think that like Twitter, you know, it's one of those like constraints enforce a certain level of creativity on the part of the user. So having a budget, having that limitation if it has to fit in X many characters is...
Dr. Tronic, it's funny you mentioned that, because I did try a piece of I tried like the first paragraph of B-movie script as like a level, and it was not a very good level. I deleted that one.
That is funny though. Yeah, all right. Well, I think we're kind of naturally drawing to a conclusion here, but badcop, as always, I will share your itch.io profile, but is there, do you want me to link anything else?
I can just link my Twitch if you like game dev or Bash programming, or I'm gonna be playing some LD games this week.
You still need to make sure that you include your Twitch on your itch.io profile here.
I don't know if you can.
I think I did.
Let me check. Edit
I mean,
profile.
if not officially, I mean, you can
Oh,
still
you can do it
include it
as
in the
your
header.
website.
You can do it as
But
your
I've
website, or
already
you
got
can do
my
it.
website as my website.
Yeah, but look at what I've done. I've got there's my
Yeah,
itch.io
let me
profile,
see.
my website, my Twitter, um my website again, my Discord link, my Twitch invitation. Like you can, yes, it doesn't have the little icon there, but you can still add more.
But
Because
my
you've just got
profile,
jamming.
it just says jamming. Yeah.
Well, okay, I will not deny the charm that is just like that. But all right, bad cop.
I'll put it in the. We don't need the badcop.games link. That site. It's lame.
Oh, well, up to you what the priority is. But bad cop, thank you so much. This is really fun conversation. I'm glad that I had enough brain power to play something like chill like this. Although it's like I've only gotten this far because of the hints that you've been giving me and because of the chat. And special shout out to Captain Crunch, who has been absolutely crushing it with the suggestions for the text compression. But
I did not initially have like the best scores on this game either. It's only been in like trying to verify other people's scores that I've started figuring out how to play my own game.
Oh, that's really funny. Honestly, like having looked at level 10 here, I feel like this is.
I know this one
not...
looks like random text, but this one is actually kind of designed.
Even if it is designed, it still strikes me as like, oh man. Yeah, like is that actually, yeah, slightly more efficient to treat that as RLE. Yeah, I guess that you can start like picking it apart and whoa, what happened there? There we go. Well, we can get 1 star really quickly and then we can at least see the next level, which is, oh my god, yeah. As much as these might have their own solutions, I think maintaining that balance between things that actually contain text, like strings of legible text, and things that contain these kind of like repeated strings or randomized, semi-random typing, like what looks like keyboard mashing, just going back and forth, because I think that they each have their own appeal. Like one of them is finding patterns in natural language, and one of them is looking closely and picking apart these like crazy looking strings. So I don't want to say get rid of them, but having a balance would be nice.
I found that the ones that were just English were not actually very fun. It seems like English is not actually very repetitive unless you really force it to be.
I see.
So I'm not much of a poet.
I guess the problem you run into with English strings is that fundamentally all the solutions are going to be very similar. Like you use a lot of like, okay, well, let's compress the word the with a space on the end, or you could do some stuff like with the tongue twister, right? I was actually at one point wondering if the solution would involve highlighting OULD, because would and could both contain that same string.
Yeah.
So doing things like that, where substrings within the word actually contribute to the solution in ways that you might not expect. But yeah, I know what you mean. Like you can only really have a handful of those before you run out of the interesting problems that that solves.
Maybe the real solution is the overkill one, where I write the solver, and then I just take a bunch of texts and I find out which ones are like pretty compressible, and then I just make those into levels.
It's a pretty easy way to brute force level design, essentially, if you are up for the challenge. But I think you can just as easily turn it over to people to come up with their own, because once you have people sharing them and giving them ratings, giving them thumbs up, thumbs down, the format of a level is pretty easy to share. Like you can share this in a comment, right? Like the text that's here and the solution string in the base 64 version,
Yep.
probably is something that, like, I don't know, would it fit in a tweet or?
Maybe. I mean, I can always host the like text blobs on my. Although then you have to do some moderation.
That's kind of the problem, and that's why I figure, like, if you allow, like, people can post comments, right? Like, just on the HIO page here, or I guess what would make more sense is you could start a thread, because that, or like a forum, right? Like HIO lets you do that. Like you can create like, you know, a way to sort of collect level submissions together, and people can like give them thumbs up, thumbs down independently.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, it is a really neat idea. I would love if you are able to take this and do something with it. I know it's not always viable in terms of like time and effort in versus what you gain out of it, but yeah, I think it's captured the imagination of both myself and quite a few people in chat. So I think we'd love to see if more came from this.
Yeah, I think I will run with the user generated levels idea because I don't know. That's something that sounds fun to build, and
set it up for yourself as the easiest, laziest way that still works within the constraints of what you want, and put that out there and see what kind of traction it gets. Because again, like, least amount of time and effort in, see what comes of it, and if it really blows up, then maybe it's worth cleaning it up a bit to make the process a little easier and find a way of posting and rating levels and so on and so on. It can become infinitely more complex, but what can you do? What's that minimum viable product?
That is totally the right way to do it, and absolutely not what I'm gonna do, but
okay. Yeah, it's like a once a day Wordle puzzle. That's exactly what I was thinking.
I have a bad habit of doing the deep dive before I should, but it's fun.
Absolutely. Well, okay, badcop, I've kept you quite a long time at this point, so thank you so much for joining me on the stream and looking at Bit Golf. It's been a lot of fun, and yeah, thanks. Thanks again to everyone who's been in the chat and hanging out and giving suggestions and helping me through it. But I think that's where we're gonna wrap things up.
Thanks for having me.
All right, I was looking forward to the next one. Bye for now.
Bye.